Welcome back. I'm Cody, the Rad Retro Dad, and today we're going to talk about Steam's new console that's coming out early 2026.
Come on, let's all go to the Rad Retro Show. Master of the Retroverse, he's the Rad Retro Dad. He's the Rad Retro Dad.
All right, guys. I was a very early adopter of the Steam Deck. I pre-ordered mine when it was announced, and I got the 512 gigabyte one. I love my Steam Deck. I use it nearly daily. It's become my primary way of just playing games. And as a dad, it has been a lifesaver. It's like a glorified Nintendo Switch. So if you've been living under a rock or whatever, and you don't know what the Steam Deck is, go look on steampowered.com and look up the Steam Deck. It is a fantastic handheld. There's been a lot of handheld PCs that have released since the Steam Deck, but honestly, you just can't beat the simplicity of the Steam Deck. I think that Steam has truly made what I would consider a console PC, making PC gaming easier than ever. It's not to say that it's, one-to-one with console gaming. There's still a lot of customization, and you have all the full settings of a PC game that you can mess around with on the Steam Deck. But what it does is it gives you an interface that functions a lot like a console. You can even go onto their storefront and purchase and download games straight to your Steam Deck and just start playing them. But what I was attracted to, and what a lot of people had been hoping for a long time when the Steam Deck was announced, is a handheld way to play your PC games that wasn't streaming them to natively play them. And Valve delivered big. And yesterday, they announced a slew of hardware, which we're going to go over in this video. But they announced a Steam machine. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this. This was the original Steam machine concept. And I don't know. I seen one on Linus Tech Tips that they had found one at like a computer shop or something, and fixed it up and made it into a gaming PC. But I don't know. They're hard to find nowadays. It just did not take off. But since then, technology has progressed a lot, and now you can fit a lot of computing power into a really small device. We're going to watch the trailer together here and see what was announced, and then we'll talk about it. All right, guys. So here we are at my computer, and I've got the Steam website pulled up with the latest trailer, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to watch it. This kind of goes over everything that they're going to release, and we'll kind of watch it and talk about it as we.
Hey everyone, this is Steam Deck. Steam Deck is our powerful, portable, handheld gaming PC that lets you take your Steam library with you anywhere. We're pretty proud of it. People who own Steam Decks have been playing everywhere, and we couldn't be happier with the response we've heard from all of you. We're excited to talk about the future of Steam Deck, but not today, because this isn't a video about the future of Steam Deck. This is a video about the future of Steam hardware. Today, we're announcing 3 new members of the Steam hardware lineup. All connect you with powerful PC gaming, all are optimized for gaming with Steam, and all are shipping in early 2026. Let's start with this one.
A new Steam controller. This is amazing.
This is the new Steam controller.
This is something that we've all wanted for a while.
The new Steam controller puts all of your Steam games at your fingertips, so you...
Well, let's stop it right there for a minute. It's basically these controls just taken off the Steam Deck and put into like a chunky Xbox style controller. And this is awesome. Now, I have been wanting a dedicated Steam controller that has all the functionality of the controls on the Steam Deck for a while now. Now, I do have a couple of these laying around. I don't know if you guys remember these. This is the original Steam controller that they developed when they were doing the original Steam machines. And this actually does pretty good. It even has a couple of back buttons right there. So it really was only lacking like one extra button on the back functionality wise. And the big one, it's missing a second analog stick, which is kind of important. But it did have 2 trackpads. Now, I still use this, and my kids use this. My kids love using this controller. It is probably one of the most comfortable controllers, even though it looks all weird and it kind of like sticks up, see? And it kind of forces, the reason is to force your thumbs to rest on those trackpads. And these trackpads are super good on this controller. They're comparable to the trackpads on the Steam Deck. But there are just times where you wish that you had that second analog stick. If this controller had a second analog stick, this would probably be my perfect controller. But anyways, I am psyched because that's what this is.
You can play wherever and however you want. Just like with Steam Deck, we want you to be able to play any game with your Steam controller, even games never built with a controller in mind. It has all the great features from Steam Deck, like trackpads, gyro, and back buttons, all in a comfortable form factor. Its next-generation magnetic thumbsticks let you play with improved responsiveness and longevity. We've put capacitive touch sensors on the thumbsticks and now on the back of the controller.
The capacitive touch sensors on the thumbsticks. It has this on the Steam Deck too. And you'd think, why would you want that? But I'll tell you, there has been a lot of times where it has come in handy. And to be able to like move around, and it's basically like a mini trackpad right on the top of the analog sticks. And I can't think of it like a situation where I've used it, but I've used it a lot in like MMOs and stuff. And it really comes in handy. Or like if you want to like fine tune your sniper scope, and you can like program it, and so instead of being down here, you can move your stick, but then fine tune the aim with that trackpad on top. Pretty cool stuff. And you over time you like find creative ways to use it. And you can do that all in the Steam input, which I think they'll talk about.
Controller too, so you can enable precision gyro aiming with the touch of your thumb or your pinky if you're feeling fancy. Play for way too long with a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that allows for over 35 hours of playtime. With Steam Controller,
a battery that lasts over 35 hours of continuous playtime. That's amazing. This controller would last me for weeks on a single charge.
We want to make charging and wireless pairing something that's actually easy. That's
At least a couple weeks.
why we created the Puck. The Puck is a combination wireless adapter and magnetic charger included with every Steam controller. Snap it on to charge. Once you're charged up, snap it off again. You can play over Bluetooth or a wired connection too.
Okay, I want to stop it right here and talk about this little Puck. The Puck alone shows that Steam is paying attention to its player base and actually listening to what people want. This controller, just the Puck alone, is super versatile. It does a few different things really well. So one is you can plug it in and it gives you a low latency wireless signal to connect your new Steam controller to it for very responsive gameplay. This controller also does Bluetooth and wired connection. Why is that important? Because they didn't have to put all this stuff in it. They could have just made it all in that Puck and left Bluetooth out and said you have to plug the Puck into your computer. But they didn't. You can connect this over Bluetooth to any of your PCs and your Steam Deck or anything for seamless wireless connection, but also they give you the ability to hook it up wired through USB Type-C. And that's amazing, especially if it's like the battery's on its deathbed and you still want to play. You can just plug it in and play.
The new Steam controller works with any device running Steam or Steam Link, whether it's a PC, Mac, handheld, smartphone, Steam Deck, or the new Steam machine.
And it's compatible with all those devices. You can plug it into any computer, Windows, Linux, Mac. You can plug it into you can connect it via Bluetooth to your cell phone and play your mobile games with it. They give you so much connectivity, which makes this controller super, super rad. It's going to be, I can already tell you that this is going to be my favorite controller when I get one. But that's the thing. Most game companies, Sony, Xbox, they want you to stay on their platform. They want you to play on their hardware. They don't want you going anywhere else. So, you can't take your PlayStation controller and play it somewhere else. For the most part, it's designed to work only with the PS5. Valve is taking this the whole other direction and saying, hey, we just want you to buy our controller. We don't care how you use it. We just want you to buy it and experience it and have it and use it and love it.
Oh, this is the new Steam machine.
New Steam machine. This is my favorite part. I wanted one of those original Steam machines so bad, but they were so expensive.
In a small but mighty
time.
package, designed for your games on the big screen. It's quiet too, which is crazy since it's 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck, powered by a discrete.
Just to put that into perspective, this Steam Deck is not the most powerful machine out there. There are other handhelds that have much better hardware in them than this Steam Deck. But I can play most AAA games somewhere with a little bit of tweaking, somewhere within the vicinity of like 30 frames a second or more. You're not really going to get like all the flashy graphics and whatnot. You have to keep your expectations in check. But on a small screen, graphics become less important. It's still important, but you can lower them down a lot and still have a really good experience with a AAA game that's very demanding. The Steam machine that they're releasing here says that it's capable. It's got the capability of 6 of these Steam Decks, and that is actually really cool. And anybody that owns a Steam Deck knows that even though it can't compete with other hardware out there, it actually competes via performance a lot better. Steam issues updates to it constantly that improve the performance, that improves compatibility. I mean, it is constantly being updated. And they actually give you the option to like opt into like beta test new and upcoming features, and anybody can do it. You just go and change it in your settings. And so you can experience a lot of the updates before the main audience gets them. I can tell you over time, the compatibility and performance of this machine it's just gotten better and better and better and better. But the hardware hasn't changed. It's still the same. The software just gets better. The operating system gets better. And the technology of the software has progressed over that short amount of time. I think this has been out for a couple of years now. Steam has made numerous improvements to it and issued so many new updates and features that weren't even available when it was released. And you can expect this with this Steam machine. So you can expect to play games on this Steam machine for about as long as you would expect to play games on a console's lifetime, if that makes sense. I know I said that kind of weird. But anyways, let's continue.
Semi-custom AMD GPU, enabling 4K gaming at 60 frames per second with FSR.
4K gaming at 60 frames a second. Now that is using FSR. I can guarantee you a lot of games will just be able to play 4K without changing anything, and you'll be able to max out the settings. But for a lot of like newer AAA titles that are demanding, they're achieving 4K using FSR upscaling, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. And that's another thing. FSR is constantly updated as well, and gets better and better and better with each update.
Steam Machine runs SteamOS made for a bigger screen. Built for gaming in your living room, your office, or wherever you play, with the rest of your PC accessories. Steam Machine borrows some great features from Steam Deck, like lightning-fast sleep and wake, an SD card slot to easily expand your storage.
Okay, the SD card slot. That might not sound that exciting, but let me tell you what you can do with the SD card slot. Anybody that owns a Steam Deck knows that you can buy multiple micro SD cards, and you could buy enough micro SD cards to install your entire Steam library if you wanted to, and just keep them organized and use them like game cartridges, but with a ton of games on them. Instead of like downloading every game every time you want to play it and managing your space, you could just buy another SD card, install a bunch of games on it till it's full, then take it out, put in another one, install a bunch of games on it, and then you just interchange them like cartridges. You do have to power down your Steam Deck and then take it out and then power it back on. But I think that's a small price to pay for being able to not have to re-download like a 70 to 100 gig game. It's just there. You might have to update it, but an update's going to take a lot less time than downloading a full 70 gigs, especially if you're on a lower internet connection. The other thing is that you can install these games on an SD card, and you can switch them between the Steam Machine and your Steam Deck and be able to just continue playing how you want natively. I think that's amazing. All right.
And bring some new tricks of its own, like a customizable LED strip, which can show different system functionalities, or your own light show. Steam Machine is a PC, so run whatever software you want, and it works with all your favorite desktop and gaming accessories. Steam Machine is designed to work hand in hand with the Steam controller, with the low latency, wireless connectivity of the Steam controller puck built right in.
There's another thing. You do not have to plug in your Steam controller puck into the Steam Machine. It's built right into it. They didn't have to include that puck if they wanted you to just use it on the Steam Machine. They included that puck because they want you to be able to experience this controller on any platform that you want. On any PC, Windows, Linux, Mac, and Android and Apple phones. You don't have to connect it. It's just built right into the Steam Machine. You don't have to connect your puck to it.
And it's great for streaming your games to your phone, tablet, laptop, Steam Deck, or Steam Frame.
This is awesome. Being able to stream your games to all those other devices. That is really cool. And it's actually something that I do right now. My Xbox Series connected to my Steam Deck. And so, for example, if I find a game that is a bit too demanding for the Steam Deck, and I want to experience it with better specs, better graphics. So if I find a game that I want to play that it doesn't run super good on the Steam Deck, I will buy it on my Xbox. And then there is a cool app that you can download for like $7 or something. It's worth the money. From the Steam store, install it on your Steam Deck, and you can stream your Xbox games to your Steam Deck, and it automatically detects your Steam Deck controller as an Xbox controller. It's pretty awesome. For example, I got the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered, and instead of buying it on the Steam Deck and playing it at a lower resolution, lower graphics. I bought it on my Xbox. It looks fantastic on my Xbox, and then I stream it to my Steam Deck. The other thing about streaming is that, especially when you're a parent or whatever, you got all your kids will like take over the TV, and sometimes you just want to sit down and play a game. Well, streaming it allows you to play it right on the Steam Deck. It's pretty awesome. Now they got one more piece of hardware to reveal.
Oh, yep. This is Steam Frame. Steam Frame is Valve's next generation VR hardware. Stream all your Steam games, VR and non-VR alike, in this comfortable, lightweight, wireless VR headset. Steam Frame uses camera-based tracking, so getting into your games is as easy as slipping on the headset and waking it up. Steam Frame controllers, included with the headset, are designed with all the inputs you need for your VR titles, like motion controls and capacitive tracking for all your fingers, as well as a split gamepad layout to work with your whole Steam library. They
So
even
you just
feature the
put a
same
Steam
magnetic
controller right
thumbsticks
into
as
the
Steam controller for
VR
responsiveness and longevity. Steam Frame also pairs seamlessly with the new Steam controller, a great companion for playing non-VR games in the headset. To make sure streaming is smooth and stable no matter what, Steam Frame includes a wireless adapter that lets you stream your games from your PC to your headset over a fast and dedicated Wi-Fi 6 connection.
Again, they didn't have to include that dongle. They could have said, oh, we're just going to put that inside the Steam machine and it'll only stream from the Steam machine and that's it. They gave you the dongle so that you could plug it into any of your computers and stream your games to your headset through a low latency wireless connection. And again, them just thinking about the player and how they're going to use their products.
And the game is streamed to your frame optimized for VR, using new technology that allows for the highest resolution streaming exactly where your eyes are looking.
They kind of briefly said that, and they haven't even really explained what that means. But what I gather is that it'll track your eyes and it will give you a higher resolution image where you're looking rather than outside of your vision range. It makes it so it can stream faster, but it'll also probably even make your games run better on a VR headset because it's not rendering all this random stuff that's outside of your visual range.
And Steam Frame is a PC, running SteamOS. In addition to streaming, you can install and play a bunch of VR and non-VR games right in the headset without a host PC.
Now, when they say that it's a computer and it has Steam installed on it, I believe that it's an ARM processor, which is more closer to like a cell phone, which would be closer to like what the current VR headsets are. They run kind of like a glorified cell phone. So I would say that a lot of your PC games, your hardcore PC VR games, like I don't think you're going to be able to like install Half-Life 4 VR on this thing or anything natively. You would have to stream that.
You can also expand your onboard storage to fit even more games with a micro SD card. Steam controller, Steam machine, and Steam Frame. All built with the same DNA as Steam Deck, all powered by Steam, work together, and can be used however you'd like with whatever peripherals and accessories you choose. Everything you see here is the culmination of what we've learned from our previous hardware experience and what we've wanted ourselves as gamers. Powerful PC gaming in an open ecosystem, giving you more ways to enjoy the games you love and discover new ones.
I think this is hugely important. What they just said. It gives you a way to play all your games in a very open ecosystem, meaning you're less restricted and you can play your games the way that you want. And like I said, a lot of console companies, and I'm not trying to dog on console companies because I love my Xbox, I love PlayStation, but there is just something to be said about having the freedom to play your games in a way that you want to play them and not be restricted to what is offered by one company. And You don't even have to buy the Steam machine to experience all of this. You can do this with your own PC build. So if you wanted to build your own gaming PC, install SteamOS on it or whatever, you can still use all these peripherals. You can still have them all interconnected. And I think that is amazing that Steam is like, we don't care. We're going to offer you a way to play the games that we're selling on our store. And we all know that's really what it boils down to, is that Steam wants to sell more software.
Steam Controller, Steam Machine, and Steam Frame are all shipping in early 2026.
Early
Learn
2026.
more at steampowered.com/hardware.
And I don't know what that means, but I would say it's Q1 of 2026 is one that they're going to release. And I would have to say that I believe, let me mute this, that they're going to release the Steam controller first, and then they're going to release the headset and then the Steam machine. Now, it may be the other way around, or maybe they'll just drop them all at once. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think. The other thing that they don't mention is what the cost of this new hardware is going to be. Now, they do give you the expectation that Steam machine is basically like owning a machine that is 6 times the power of a Steam Deck. And the Steam Deck, it released for around about $500, kind of the midpoint for the Steam Deck. I think there was like a $399, and then there was a $499, and maybe a $550 if I remember right. The $500 was like the average cost to get into a Steam Deck. And so I do not believe that this Steam machine is going to release at the same price point as the Steam Deck. I think it's going to be more. With that being said, I hope that they keep it down in the budget price range, because that's kind of the point, isn't it? That if you had all the money in the world to just blow on gaming, you would go out and you'd buy the most high-end computer that you could find, right? This, to me, feels like it's targeting more of a mid-range gamer, somewhere around the budget mark. And I think for it to be successful, it has to be a competitive price with the current console market. Now, that being said, that Nintendo Switch released for $500. Well, $450 without a game. But why would you buy that console and then buy Mario Kart World separately when you could get it for $50 bundled? So, realistically, Switch 2 was a $500 console. I don't think that they'll be able to meet that price point. I'm thinking $650 or more. And the headset alone, I mean, Steam's headsets in the past have released upwards in like $600-700 range just for the headset alone. So they're not afraid to put that out there. But I think that VR gaming is more of a premium game experience. Like, people are willing to pay more for a premium VR experience. But when it comes to the Steam machine itself, I think that it has to be a affordable way to play PC gaming and do it at a high graphical level. Tell me what you think Steam is going to release the Steam machine price at. Regardless of whether I buy a Steam machine right off the bat or not, I am definitely going to get me one of those Steam controllers to hook up to my Steam Deck. So I've been wanting a dedicated controller that has full functionality ever since I got my Steam Deck. And the last thing I want to talk about, which is kind of like the least important part of this, but it's important to me because I love to customize. I'm an artistic person by heart. The customization that they're giving you with that little Steam machine is pretty awesome. That plate right on the front, it's magnetic, and it will just stick on there. And they showed off several custom plates, like a wood one, they showed off a red one, but then they showed off a really cool like designed one. I think it would be really cool to even open it up and have like game companies release like a collector's edition custom plate for your Steam Deck or whatever. I think that would be cool. Like, could you imagine like an Elder Scrolls one on there, or like a Fortnite if you're into that, or even like an arcade? Yeah, we want the arcade one. We're a retro station, right? So an arcade themed one. And I'm sure somebody is going to create a 3D model of that plate and print them out, and you can customize them any way you want. And just put some magnets on it and stick it on there. Guaranteed somebody's going to do that. So customization is really cool. I think that's awesome. Kind of a throwback to the Xbox 360. Remember those custom plates you could put on the front of your Xbox 360? It's giving me an Xbox 360 vibe here. Anyways, tell me what you're excited about. And until next time, stay rad and stay retro.